wrote down the reason for their actions. I'm going to read two of those grievances to you. For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states. So, are the Black Lives Matter protesters terrorists? No, they're not. They are in fact patriotic Americans carrying on some of our best traditions. The Montgomery County Green Party exists to ensure that political leaders are drawn from the communities that they represent, and that they represent the will of those people, not the will of far-off funders. Hopefully our actions in getting Commissioner Gale to resign will be successful.
It will be.
But next year, the commissioners are up for election, and there's always another way to get rid of Mr. Gale. You can always vote him out. That's not the only election we have next year. Municipal elections are next year. Council seats in boroughs, cities, and townships. And those boroughs, cities, and townships are the ones who have funding and operational control of the police departments themselves. We urge you not to give up your protests. That's the way that change begins. But remember that the political process is there too, not to replace your actions or your protests, but to offer another alternative to achieve the same goals. So we urge you to continue, not to be discouraged. It's quite difficult to get systemic change. And we urge you to be safe when protesting. Protesting is even more dangerous now than it ever was before, not just because of those police, not just because of an establishment that doesn't care for your protest, but because of the COVID-19 virus as well. We urge you to be safe, and we hope that each day you place yourself in danger, you shall not be forgotten, you shall not be destroyed, you shall not be imprisoned, and you shall not be harassed by the evil powers. Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to have Linda Fields from Power Up PAC.
Hello, everybody.
Can't hear you. All right.
Gotta follow the rules. Something our county people don't do. Hello, everybody. I'm here to say two words, and I want you to say it with me. Power up. Power up. What does that mean? I'm going to tell you. That means that we will no longer tolerate the bull. That means that we will hold everyone accountable. It's not about what party you belong to. It's about the people you say you want to represent. Funny that we're standing here in Norristown and we can't even get committee people assigned to positions that they want to volunteer to do. What's wrong with that picture? It's funny that Montgomery County MCDC Democratic Committee is here in Norristown, and the people of Norristown voices have been silenced by cronyism. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Woo. Say it for me again. Power up.
Power up.
Power up. We're going to hold the people in Montgomery County accountable. It's a shame that Norristown, Pottstown, and several other schools within the Montgomery County don't have the funding that they need. They don't have the support that they need. But the state representatives that represent us, I bet you their kids get their funding. If you want to walk the walk, you have to talk the talk, and you have to do the right thing. Do the right thing. What is the right thing? It's called equity. It's called equity. It's funny when you have black developers that want to come into a place like Norristown and a place like Pottstown and develop, and they're turned away. Why is that? Tell me, who's your solicitor? Check them out. Oh yeah, I'm going there.
Go there!
People want to call me a mad black woman. You got that right. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not taking it anymore. When it comes time to have money for the things that you want, politicians, you find it. But when it's time to have money for the kids, that is our future, where is it? Power up. Say it again. But with those words, it comes action. Every rally that you can be at, every voice that you or person that you can influence, you need to tell them, we will never again elect anybody that hasn't already proven that they're representing the people, because that's what an advocate is. They don't need a title to represent you. Power up. The other thing that I want to say is don't sell out, because we do. Okay? I'm not going to just talk about the elected officials and the activists and the fake progressives, because they are. They tell you one thing and then they do something else. Somebody comes and talks soft and sweet to them, and they went, oh, well, maybe we should think about it. It's just like the murders that have been committed. These are our black babies. They tell us not to be upset and stay calm. The hell I will. The hell I will. Because when I say Black Lives Matter, I say my life matters. Because any given day, a bad cop can come along and decide that he wants to murder me and they want to protect him. We have good police officers, because that's what they are, police officers. But we have bad cops, and they have to go. We have bad supervisors. They have to go. We have bad politicians. They have to go. We have bad activists or so-called progressives. We need to shut them up. And how do we do that? Come on, say it with me. Thank you. I want to tell you that I ran for office. Some of you may know who I am and some of you may not. But it's okay. I started an organization, a PAC, that's going to elect people like me. People, women, black men, and minorities. And that money is going to go to help people that have already proven in their communities that they want to be elected. They want to represent the people. I don't want no more politician calling me up and telling me, oh, I'm so disappointed. I'm checking my records and you haven't made a donation and you ain't gonna get one. Okay? Because my money is going to go to my progress, the progress of my people. Racism has to end. And Joe Gale, I want to put it out there right now. People call me Mama Phils. Come near me. I got something for you. It ain't a threat. It ain't a threat in case somebody want to act like it is. It's a promise. And when you have a mad black mother, she can hurt something. Okay? And I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to tell him and everybody else that is his cohort, agreeing with the things that he do, he should be gone. Our legislators have the power to remove him. Why is he not gone? Okay? That's question. I don't want to hear about what's in trial and we're waiting, because you didn't wait to kill our babies. You didn't wait not to give us the funding that we needed. But you want to move quickly on Dean Beer and Keisha Hudson? The devil is a lie. And guess what? And I'm going to bring the truth. And I hope you're with me, because what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Young people, I want you to register to vote on your 18th birthday. People that are not registered to vote, register. And anybody, white people, they ask me, what should I say? Start at home. Tell the truth to your children. And stop promoting racist attitudes and dialogues. Thank you very much.
In the interest of time, we have her and a last group. This is a fabulous woman in Pottstown. She is the executive director of the YWCA, Stacy Woodland. Let's give her a round of a welcome.
Thank you so much. So I wanted to just come and talk a little bit about the fact that we absolutely need Joe Gale to go. That we know that the other commissioners, Valor Cush and Ken Lawrence, have denounced everything he said, but that was the easy part. The hard part was supporting your racial justice warriors, Dean Beer and Keisha Hudson, when they needed it. The hard part was standing up to the pressure that was put on them to fire Dean Beer and Keisha Hudson. The easy part was denouncing that nonsense that Joe Gale wrote. The hard part was saying no, that we're going to keep Dean Beer and Keisha Hudson. As long as Val is asking for Joe Gale's resignation, she should be asking for her own. The YWCA Tri-County Area's mission is to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. And that's what we do. And I'll say this, Valor Cush has been a friend to the YW. Dean Beer and Keisha Hudson have been friends to the YW. But friends don't let friends perpetuate institutional racism, and we are going to hold Val accountable. As we're going to hold each other accountable so that this becomes a movement, stays a movement, not a moment. There's plenty of work to do. We're standing out here until 7 o'clock p.m. to do it. And it's not over yet, it's just beginning. So I thank you so much. I thank you, Carmina, for allowing me to speak. All right, and have a wonderful night. God bless you.
Y'all see that God is so fresh to talk to y'all today?
So listen up. So not only are we doing the complaints and the legislation in the Senate, we are coming up with a demands list from the community. So beyond when Joe Gale is removed, we got a whole set of reforms that we're placing on the county commissioner and all of our elected officials in Pennsylvania. So right now, I want to introduce a group that has been protesting about police reform, the necessity of police reform. So today starts the day that we all work together as a coalition to move mountains and crush buildings. Are y'all gonna do that with me? So after this, we have a song for y'all, and then we're gonna come out and power up. Right, Linda? Right? All right. So I want to introduce Mark Jones. He is a community leader from Bridgeport, and he's brought his crew. Thank you, guys. Last speaker.
I know she said Mark Jones, but y'all gonna hear me first. So first, I just want to point out, if you identify as a woman or a girl, can you raise your hand? All right, and if you're under 30, can you raise your hand? I just want y'all to know that historically, movements have been pushed by women and youth. So keep going, y'all. Keep going. Okay? That was the first thing. just want to share, I'm going to try to be quick, but I just want to share when I first started kneeling for the national anthem, like maybe 2 years ago, or yeah, a lot of people, 3? Okay, well, a lot of people, they weren't happy about it. And it was confusing to me because so many people, like somebody DM me on Instagram saying, oh my gosh, your dad is so amazing, your dad is the best. And people, you know, because my dad would always come to soccer games, cheer me on, they would say, wow, I love your dad. And when I started kneeling, I was confused because if you love my dad, how don't you understand why I'm doing this? I was really genuinely confused, and I had people telling me, well, you know, I just don't get it because white people are harassed by cops too. But I will never forget the day when we were pulled over because my nieces and nephews who were right there was doing something dumb in the back seat. And we were pulled over, and everything was fine. We weren't really doing nothing wrong. I didn't think we was gonna get in no trouble, but I remember as my dad, I was driving, as my dad gave me the registration, in less than 20 seconds, this man was in a dripping sweat. His hands were shaking as he handed me the registration. And that is something that's ingrained in my head as somebody who only knows their father as a strong black man. To see him in such a state of fear over something that I can't even articulate it because it's hard for me to do. But it was so strange to me how people could not understand what I was doing if they knew my dad. And they knew what he would have to face every single day. But anyways, this is the last point I'm gonna make. I'm sick of the word change and reform. I'm sick of using these small, watered down words because I'm here for a revolution. I'm not here to see police reform. I'm here to see something that has never happened in history before, because the last time we really saw real change or something drastic was done was the American Revolution. So let's really use the words that we need to use to get something done, because again, I'm here for the revolution. That's what I'm here for. And I understand that as with any revolution, it starts with people, because where there's people, there's power. We know that. So we need to keep coming out, and tomorrow there's a town hall up in Marion. I expect to see all of y'all there, because another point, I know I said I was done, but he said the police chief, when we were in there, he was saying how, you know, up in Marion doesn't have that many problems, which may be a fact. But the point is that it doesn't matter if you don't have any problems, other people do. And we have to become intolerable of racism, period. It doesn't matter if you're not racist. There are people who are, we gotta go fight them. That's who we gotta stop. So I'm sick of this, oh, I'm not racist, because I know a lot of y'all have friends in the crowd who don't agree with the Black Lives Matter movement, who are silent right now. You need to go and have a conversation with them. It doesn't matter that you're out here, it matters that they're, well, it does matter that you're out here, I'm sorry. But it also matters that they're not. Because we know that where there's people, there's power, and there's power where there's people, and we need the people to be out here for this revolution.
Now, y'all know good and well it's hard for me to follow that, because I've been waiting for my baby to get her voice since we started a couple weeks ago. Sounds like she's getting it now. So, there's some people in Montgomery County, let me make you aware, y'all are in trouble if she finding her voice. There's some people out here that I heard me screaming. They out here now, partly because they look at our social media. So we have names now, thanks to our groups out at 202 in Henderson, the United Men of Color, and the Black People Revolution of Montgomery County. Folks, they asked me to speak today, and I don't know why, because the truth is, somebody asked me that I write something. I've never once written anything in the 3 weeks that I've spoken. Everything that I speak about is from my heart and just what God told me to say when I stood here. I don't know what I'm going to say before I get out the car. I never know. But I did know 2 things I want to talk about today. What we are facing, it runs super deep. And I don't want to offend anybody here who's been in the trenches. I happen to realize how deep it's been because in the past 2 weeks, I have been in contact with more important people in Montgomery County than for the 6 years prior to. Let me make you clear on how serious that is. My numbers are blocked. These young women that were looking for us for over a week. But yet the police found me in 2 days. to talk to us about what we were going to do out in the corners. I've met with councilmen now, things that I never thought I would want to do. Learned a lot, right? But you are all out here because you want change. This is a great crowd. But the way we get change is to make sure that everybody understands they have to stand here also with us. This is not going to stop. They are not going to stop. The town hall meeting, so, whew. The town, listen, this young man here is the face of whatever movement comes out of Montgomery County. I need y'all to understand that. One of the first things I realized when we started standing outside was the importance of the youth in this movement. I need those folks that are here that don't understand the importance to get these numbers. We stand out on 202 almost every day. A crowd of over 100 people. 75 to 80 of them are under the age of 25. This is their movement. For those people up here that are my age, that don't appreciate what that means, we all gotta wake up, because whether we like it or not, we closed our eyes to this nonsense. I done heard a lot of people talking, it's time for a change. We closed our eyes to this fucking nonsense that goes on in this country, in Montgomery County. It's ridiculous for me to have conversations with people from Montgomery County, from people from Upper Marion that say, we know that we treat Norristown differently up here. How the hell is that possible in the current power structure? How? So I'm gonna tell you how that's possible. Those people from Norristown that live here, the young woman said power up. I'm here to tell you, you need to stand up. This is your city. The ridiculousness in the fact that Norristown is basically the capital of Montgomery County and doesn't get the funding that they need. Folks, I need you to understand, the only reason that happens is because we had our eyes closed for a real long time. Joe Gale wasn't really elected, he fell into his seat. The only way for somebody to fall into their seat, that got to do with us, folks. That's not about him, that's not about a Republican, that's not about Democrats. That's about everybody standing here that, for whatever reason, didn't take this revolution seriously 3 years ago. Please understand, you don't have to come out with me. I scream without microphones. People still gonna hear me. My daughter gave me my voice. I'm no longer, I didn't even know to today, that story she told had that effect on her. I was so fucking blinded at the madness in this country that I was like literally looking at her like, you gotta understand why I need to be nervous. You gotta understand why we gotta keep our mouth shut in a regular traffic stop. You gotta understand why it's okay for the fucking basketball coach to sit you down because you're taking a knee. And for everybody in the stands to come and ask, why is she not playing? As if we didn't know. We all knew. I'm gonna try not to keep everybody here long. I point this out every time we stand up. If you are of a minority descent, I need you to look around you and understand that those individuals that are Caucasian that stand here today are the reason that this voice is still being heard 3 weeks later. Some of y'all don't understand what I mean. I can tell because your reception ain't real. I live in Bridgeport, which is part of Upper Marion. Everybody standing here has felt like Upper Marion was kind of racist. So I repeat to you, we have been in the intersection of 202 and Henderson for 3 weeks, controlling the narrative. Thanks to our Caucasian brothers and sisters that decided that the people in Upper Marion was going to hear my voice. I'm putting this call out to Norristown. I told my brothers here that I would put this call out to Norristown because I'm all about the truth. You got to stand up for your city. You got to start coming out to these events. You got to get your brother and your sisters, your cousins, the people on the block. Drive the old lady down the street who can't get nowhere. Put her in the car with you. Bring them here. We took that march to Norristown. If you from Norristown, you're not going to tell me you didn't feel that that love in the air when we walk through them streets 300 people deep. That means something. Some people my age, they don't come out here no more because they don't believe that it's going to change. There are people the age of 65 that don't take it seriously. They feel like this is all a lie. It is on us to give them that voice back. You got to bring them out. You got to tell them, get on social media and fight them racist people on social media that ask you, why do all lives matter? Why don't all lives matter? Right now, Black Lives Matter, because that's who we are watching getting murdered on the TV. Right now, Black Lives Matter, because Norristown is a black community with their culture and heritage being robbed from them. The damn kids in Norristown School District don't even know Lift Every Voice and Sing. So anybody my age who's been working with Norristown, I challenge you to go home today and look in that mirror, because we were complicit in allowing them to attempt to take that history from our youth. We let it happen. I sang the song, you sang the song, so why are our kids not singing the song? We don't have a right to look at the people, white folks, and say it's on you to fix our community. No, it's just on them to allow us the opportunity to fix it ourselves. Do not get it twisted, folks. We're not fighting for no damn handout. I'm not looking for a handout. I want the opportunity to teach the young brothers and sisters in Norristown, Upper Marion, Pottstown, all over, that we all got the same chance. We could all do the same things in this country. But for right now, we finna start with Montgomery County. If you live in Norristown, you gotta get out here with us, because the money we looking for is for y'all. I need you to be clear. I live in Upper Marion. It's pretty nice over there, right? I don't gotta fight for money. I'm fighting for Norristown. If you don't get out here and fight for your city, it's not much more we could do. If you're not out here supporting these young brothers, how old are y'all again? 24 and 26 that stuck their head out on a limb and went down there to Upper Marion around them white folks. If y'all don't start standing out on a limb and making people hear you, it will continue to be more the same. Somebody said Val Arkush too? Right? Val Arkush. I don't even really know. I thought she was a nice lady. But she ain't here today. She not here today. And I know whatever cameras is on, I might not be important, but if you from Montgomery County and you don't get down here to Norristown and talk to us, we coming to you.
All right, so can we have all the speakers that came and my ladies, let's all congregate up here. Everybody that's here, everybody that's sitting, can we all stand up together? All of our guests. Of course, you can stay there. Where's Danielle? Danielle! Where's my girl?
Okay.
Marlena? Where's Bridget? I want everybody here in the crowd out there, you guys come together. We're getting ready to do something. Come together. We're a coalition here. Look how beautiful this is. So starting tomorrow, everyone, PA Women Rise will have all the numbers of the senators that we need to contact to get them to put that legislation for a vote. Tomorrow, you will receive the addresses for the State Ethics Commission, for the Human Relations Commission. We need everybody to send letters and tell them to support our complaints. We need to stand together. I want you to see this coalition of people, and you are all part of our coalition. So give yourselves a hand. We're going to play a song, and just let's listen and marinate on it. Mr. Christian, could you handle this? I'm so excited.
After the song, please stay around. I got more info for y'all. But we wanted to move it forward.
So this this war, and it's a declaration that moving forward, we're all going to stand together. So I'm going to move away so y'all can hear the song. Let's do it together. Thank you for coming out. And y'all going to dance for us, right? Here we go. This means war. Christian's taping you guys.
But I'm singing all is well. He's attacking every day, but I'm watching while I pray. No matter the attack, I want to.
Here we go again. This means war. So are y'all gonna stand with us? Is this a war of justice? Is this a war of racial equality and equity? Are we standing up for our young people? Are we standing up for as a coalition of people from Montgomery County, from the Southeast region? So just look on our website, our Facebook page tomorrow as well, as we declare our demand list from the community to our elected officials. Are we standing together? This means war. Let's take this home, everybody.
Norristown, give it up for yourselves! Yes! We love you. Everybody come home safely. We look forward to seeing you again. Change is on the way.
And I just wanted to say it's great to see some Green Party representation here.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I've been live streaming.
Oh, okay. That's great.
You know, Andrew Jang?
Yeah.
I think he's Treasury.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm friends with him from rock climbing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What were your name?
Caden.
Kate, okay. That's great.
I started a full breadth of different channels and stuff. Castwell Live to record all this stuff, broadcast it, and also submitted into Woke Network to have that restreamed to like thousands of people. So if they put me up, they put me up. Yeah, that's why I want to be out here recording. Is I didn't see very much from Norristown to Philadelphia being represented, and I wanted to actually be somebody who'd be able to put that up there. Invested in a gimbal and stuff like that to be able to.
Yeah, that's great,
that.
because you're right. I haven't seen much about Philly or Norristown either.
Did have a free to come out. For everybody that's been standing with us, you know how they come out. How much progress has been made across that bridge? Because what's happening over there is different. And if you're not with this, I understand. But I'm bringing what we're doing over there over here. It's not stopping there. We're bringing it here. We want sharing. Like she said, the list of demands is going to come out. Revenue sharing. I was supposed to take a poll, so since people are still on cameras, I'll take it now. How many people here would be willing to pay an additional $50 to $100 to the police department to assist them with getting the necessary equipment for virtual reality trainings to go in Montgomery County Police Department? If you are willing to pay $50, please raise your hand. The purpose, I'm going to tell you why I said that. The immediate response that we got from them was, there's no money for that. What I told them was, people want change, and none of us are dumb. So virtual reality machines, there's like games that are glasses now that are they're virtual reality games, but it puts you like in real life situations. The police ones are pods that they get in. When they get into the pod, they're living the entire situation. People usually say, well, it's a game, they can fake it, right? Muscle memory is something that you can never fake. And if you do the training enough, all we need to literally make things look different is for officers to have 3 more seconds to think about what they're getting ready to do. Taking that training, you can't get the 3 seconds from a book, and you can't get it from the only way you get the extra 3 seconds is actually living out those experiences. That's what the training does. It actually shocks them when they make dumb decisions. Like if they do the wrong thing, it actually shocks them. So we're trying to get that. So I told them I would take a poll and keep coming back to say every time we meet with people, people are saying that we were. If most people, I'm sure most people, they understood what it was, would put up the $50, and we would be able to pay for 2 of them just from the community. Not let alone the money that they need to contribute. It's one of the things. The other things is banning chokeholds, because all the departments in Montgomery County have not banned chokeholds yet. As soon as somebody in the neighborhood argues with you about a chokehold and the need for it, explain to them that I am a mental health professional. Every year, I go to training on restraints. Not one of them is a chokehold. Now, and there's a reason for it. The stupidity in the chokehold is simply the chokehold is the one maneuver that garners the most resistance. So it's the dumbest to see. That's why they don't teach it to you in mental health training. It's literally, it's that simple, but it's a show of power for the other person is what it is, which is why police departments are against it. So we're looking for the entire Montgomery County to ban the use of chokeholds. Monthly town hall meetings. We are working currently with them on creating a diversity inclusion committee with individuals from the community. There's a training program, not training, but a hiring process in Upper Marion that includes an oral test. That oral test is administered by police officers and should include citizens. That's how it's written. Unfortunately, most of us don't know or didn't want to volunteer for it. So the people who are doing it are actually not police officers, but their moms, cousins, aunts. Those are the people administering the verbal part of the test. More reaching out to minority candidates to come work. Defunding the police departments. But as you guys know, that language is pretty harsh. So we're putting it out in a way that everybody can understand. We want cops to keep their jobs, right? Cops are not social workers. So a police officer with a gun should not be responding to a domestic dispute unless somebody has said there's a gun involved. Police officers don't work for the ASPCA. So they shouldn't be going out collecting dogs that are loose in the neighborhood. What we should do is take the extra funding that we've been giving them, because the reason we've been giving them more funding is because we keep adding these extra jobs to their roles. Take some of the money back and put it where it really belongs. People in Montgomery County are not happy about revenue sharing, but folks, it's a real thing, and it needs to. Anybody here own their house? Do you know where all your property taxes go? Anybody else? Does anybody know where their property taxes go? The fact that nobody here knows that gives you the reason why they're against revenue sharing. Because there's no reason not to do it, other than there are certain communities that we are not interested in seeing establish a certain level of upkeep in order to it. I hate using order because of the bad word that Trump gave it, but order to our communities, right? The school districts, they spoke about it, comes with the revenue sharing. There's a couple other things on the list that are kind of like, oh, I'm gonna make sure the organizers aren't behind me. I don't know if anybody here knows Dylan, I believe his name was Dylan Leach, the senator who was here. Dylan Leach, and his history. We want to be clear on our stance for that. If we didn't need him to start this process, we are not standing next to him. If you have a representative that brings that to you, the fact that we stood there, our ask is that they come to the table so that we no longer have to have him there. But right now, he was the only one willing to actually step out on that limb. And that's what we're looking for. Yes.
I just want to say something real quick. So somebody spoke earlier today, and he was emphasizing that this right here, this isn't the main part of this revolution. This right here is the easy part. Okay, we have to prepare. We have to prepare because I'm telling you, what's coming is going to be a battlefield. And if you think tear gas and rubber bullets is bad, just wait till they start infiltrating whatever this is with spies. Just wait. Okay, because I'm telling you, it's going to get harder. This is an uphill battle. And I've seen posts about it, but we really have to understand what we're walking into. And we can't walk out of it just because it's scary. We can't walk out of it because it's tiring. Because I know it's tiring, but again, lives are depending on this. So prepare yourselves. Whether that means you got to take off of work or read a book. If you need a book recommendation, I got you. But prepare yourself, okay? Because it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be an uphill battle. Okay, but I'm here with you. I'm here with y'all, and we're going to get through this battle together.
Yeah. We appreciate all of you, definitely. The fact that you came today, some of you, I don't know who anybody is, right? But I've been getting attacked on Facebook and the Montgomery page a little bit. So people don't like what we're doing. But what I realized today was some of you are actually standing up to it. That's really all we need. We are not engaging in any hateful rhetoric. I don't even want to hear the fake positive rhetoric anymore. If somebody says something from their heart that sounds hateful, I'd rather hear it as long as it's coming from their heart. I would just challenge everybody that stands with us to actually lead with love. Just lead with love. No matter, because they need you to get angry to change the conversation. Somebody was posting today, oh my God, they're going to stop traffic again. Well, no, we're not. We're going to be at the courthouse. So, next question, please. What are you guys even marching for? They give me stats about black people killing black folks. So, do we really understand the stats and stuff? I absolutely understand the stats. I watched my son on the hospital bed and get told, pray because we don't know if he's going to make it to the trauma unit. So I absolutely understand what black crime looks like. I understand what black crime looks like because at one point in my life, I was a perpetrator of black crime. That in no way excuses what we all know has happened in this area. It in no way excuses our silence to it. It in no way excuses us again. Look at those damn bushes over there. Like, do you think the building in Upper Marion would look like that with the grass going up? Am I crazy? But it would never look. This is the county courthouse. The only reason that the county courthouse still looks like that is because Montgomery County wants everybody that comes through here to never forget that Norristown is a black town. I'm not a racist. I actually believe that most people are not racist. I'm a believer in that. And I understand that most people, if you ain't been around black folks, you don't necessarily know how to act when you're around black folks. The same way, I don't know how to act if I know now because I'm professional, right? But at one point in my life, I wasn't comfortable in a room with white folks. We get that, but we just want real understanding. We want people to take the time to think about what you say I fight with my daughter about the word nigga all the time. Because I'm a believer that we gave it to the culture. We did, right?
We are going now.
Fight about it. I lose that fight every time. But the word to me is just of significance of a deeper picture. The word is usually something that people use as an argument that keeps from having a deeper conversation. I don't give a shit about the use of a word. What I care about is if you drove by and you saw police officers with their knee on my neck, that you would actually stop your car and say something. That's what I care about. You could be a racist person, but what I care about is when you got to be a good person, or you better hide. Nobody should feel comfortable being an asshole walking around in this world. Nobody should. Like our kids have so many kids have no idea what they're going through. I spoke about this before as one of the focuses we want to get the county to is a trauma-focused initiative in areas like Norristown. Police need to be trained on, so the other thing that my daughter brought up for them is mandatory social work training, unless you're going to agree to give up that funding to the social work agencies for police officers. And if they don't give up the funding, then police need to have damn degrees in social work. Because you have to understand when you're interacting with a 16-year-old boy who his entire life has heard of family members being shot. That's trauma in itself. Based on all research that most of us that have degrees have says, somebody who experiences trauma is 70% more likely to be the perpetrator of that exact act to somebody else. We know that. So we do it for rape victims. We do it for kids that grow up being abused by their parents. We do it for animals. You're right, we do. We put them on, but yet we don't train police officers when they're coming in our communities to care enough about the fact that my daughter had to watch me sweat, scared for my life from a simple traffic stop. From one that I knew was going to result in the ticket and us driving away. I knew that, yet that didn't change my fear. Please talk to your family, your friends, anybody you can. When you know that we're having something, it is so important to get out there. Because as much as you guys may not know, I'm sorry that I get phone calls, people are texting me. I know I can't, I'm new to this. My phone is literally half black on the screen, but I can't turn it in because I would have to go 2 days without a phone, and I can't miss the phone calls. So sometimes I can't return text messages, but things are happening. I know I can't talk to people, but there's some folks that have been doing this for 20 years. The head of Bridgeport City Council sat in my backyard yesterday for lunch for 3 hours. That's ridiculous for me. It's a ridiculous thing for me to see that it took us 3 weeks. This coalition here, we're not together. We didn't have a name. It took us 3 weeks. I've not talked to anybody whose title did not start with at least chief. Hey, just in 3 weeks. It says a lot about what was happening, but for me it does say more about where we're going. If you got time to make it out to Upper Marion tomorrow, please come out, make your voices heard. If you don't come out, they kind of think we're lying and people aren't scared of Upper Marion police. 5 p.m. at Upper Marion. Also, for those that are still here, Upper Marion Township Building. Friday is Juneteenth. Norristown. The United Men of Color is putting on a Juneteenth celebration at Oak Street Park at the Martin Luther King shrine over there. They're going to put on the Juneteenth celebration there. Come out, free food. Of course, we can't have a lot of game stuff for the kids because technically we're supposed to be social distancing, right? So technically, it can only be but so big. But we'll have a voter registration.
My battery's dying.
Some information, and just to start to integrate more the community. So please come out to that also on Friday. The goal is to really keep pushing this forward, folks. And listen, y'all did it. I'm glad to be talking, but the folks from this area is who really brought that tension here. It wasn't me. Yes.
What time is Juneteenth on Friday?
Juneteenth is from 12 to 6 on Friday. 12 to 6. Free food. No, we're not promoting alcohol. We're not giving out alcohol, but it's a free word. Other thing is Norristown kind of. I want you guys to understand the show and power that you guys really have. Norristown really hasn't given the permit yet for this event, right? But still gave the okay to go ahead and do it. That's literally, I've had 3 conversations today with people not associated with this, where at the end of the day, the optics of not doing something is worse for people than doing it. Which means now with the opportunity for us, I think it was, his name is Andrew Cuomo, right? The governor of New York? Yeah. Was speaking the other day to this. Everything in America happens in a wave. And right now it's this wave. And our opportunity to
batteries
change
in.
things.
Sorry about that.
Because nobody can say no. At the end of the day, you don't want to be the legislator who says, listen, black people, I can't really help you. So if you're a white person and you need to change too, right now it's time to stand with us black folks to come to that table. Because we really got the bully pulpit right now. It's genuinely the way it works. So please keep coming out. I appreciate y'all for standing there and still listening, right? Y'all making a humongous change out here. And I promise that grass is going to be cut in the next 2 days because it's fucking hideous. Hideous. Thank y'all. I love everybody. Lead with love. Lead with love.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. 610. I'm Maggie, by the way. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all again. Sister, you're amazing.
Mama Fields? Yeah, okay.
Alright. That's almost about it. Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not for that no more. You see this all authentic. No writing down or anything. From my heart. From my heart. Yes, I saw that.
Of course I
Yes, the girl, well, I don't know about this. I think all the people prepared to vote. Already. Like it was already a thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think if you know people,
protest the other day that we ran into?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't recognize you, of course, with the, yeah.
So you've been coming out to all these?
I've been mostly just doing Saturdays, because I work during the week, but this being in the afternoon, I was like, I'm right up the street, I might as well jump on over here.
Are you from here?
Yeah, I just, I bought my house back in January.
Oh, cool.
So,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
Are you media or what do you do?
Personal thing. So, I figured I'm not seeing stuff online so much from like on the ground from Philadelphia, so I bought some equipment and I'm starting to stream, and I like being the cameraman at events and stuff like that anyway, so I figured I'd jump into it and try and be proactive with it and put stuff out there.